So welcome back to this emotion series where I'm trying to share some emotions that I experience and some of the people that I'm coaching also experience, so that you judge it a little bit less, understand it a little bit more, and can move through the emotion rather than getting stuck experiencing it. I want you to be able to visit these emotions rather than live there. And today's emotion is loneliness or disconnection. And I've experienced this many times. I still experience it even recently this week. And I also interact with many leaders who are very lonely and very disconnected. And typically that's because when you reach a certain level, who you can ask for advice when you don't know, how you feel about not knowing, and the problems or the challenges that you face yourself, the difficulty in sharing that with somebody else who we're meant to have the trust with our teams, all that kind of stuff plays out, where it stops us reaching out and asking for connection. And so it can be quite an isolating experience. And so what I want to try and share is some of the underpinnings of that, give you some tools and techniques that might be helpful, and just help you accept or normalize the emotion of loneliness and disconnection. If you imagine years ago, we would have lived, we would have inhabited, we would have been in tribes and small groups often. We would have existed in tribes of up to, I think it's 70 or 80 people. We would have had a lot of contact time, and that would have been physically in person and quite communal and together often. There would have been rituals daily. You go down to get your water, you sit around campfires in the evenings, you share stories, all that kind of stuff, shoulder to shoulder beside each other. You would share memories, all that kind of stuff together. Now we're doing that at a distance through phones. So while we are more connected because we can always turn it on, we are disconnected physically, so there's no physical proximity. What that means then is when we experience stress or any kind of negative emotion, we don't get that co-regulation, which is the sharing of emotions with somebody else, which means that we feel safe in our nervous system. So we don't get that. And now link that back to yourself as a leader. If you experience a negative emotion like stress or frustration or anger or anxiety or depression, sadness, grief or self-doubt, you aren't surrounding yourself with people where you can share that openly. You're not getting the co-regulation, and that then leads, in my opinion, to a more insecure path forward, and one where you don't experience all of life, all of your abilities, all of your potential, because we're like playing it safe. We're aiming for certainty, which is small increments rather than transformation. So just to give that backdrop of the history around loneliness, and again, the kind of need for connection that we have to co-regulate and kind of feel safe in our nervous system. How I experience this as well is not just the connection to other people and the loneliness in response to that, but also a disconnection to myself. Typically that can come from a trauma response, which is that the body wasn't safe to be in, and so we switch to just existing in the mind. The mind is often a chaotic place. It plays out thoughts and crazy things going on all the time. We can think one thing and then we can think another thing, and there could be no correlation, no connection, no nothing. And if we're living there, we can think that we're the chaos, we're experiencing chaos, and there's no connection to self. The body is always present. It is us that leave. And when we come back and bring awareness back to the body, and this is going to be in some of the path back to connection, we can tune into our own needs and we can meet them. We can stop taking anger out at ourselves, and we can honor those needs to be able to feel like we're looked after and looking after ourselves and practicing kindness and compassion to ourselves. But also that connection brings us back to the present, out of the chaos of the mind and into the presence of the body. And when we do that more often, we are able to be calm, we're able to be coherent, we're able to notice that the range of emotions that we experience is movable. What you feel now versus what you'll feel in an hour or what you felt an hour ago will be very different. So emotions do not stay, they come and go. Emotions are emotion, energy in motion. It's the same with loneliness and disconnection. It's an invitation for more connection and more togetherness. And also a deeper kind of presence or time spent with yourself, on yourself. And some things that have helped me. So I'm going to start with me, and then I'm going to start about other people and that connection to other people. I did it there, noticing the connection to my breath. Just noticing, literally just paying attention to my breath. Is it shallow? Is it, like, how is it? Just checking in and doing that. Wiggling my toes a little bit and bringing my attention again out of mind into body. Over time, what you can do is you can actually pay so close attention to your bodily responses that you can feel your heartbeat. Now, I sometimes simulate that in a sauna or a cold plunge or the seawater, and you will really viscerally feel your heart rate. But that connection to your heart, breathing here in your chest, makes a massive difference. Alan Watkins talks about the BREATHE acronym, which is breathe rhythmically, evenly, and through the heart every day. So BREATHE. And that sensation of connection here to your breath, that sensation around your heart and paying attention there is very grounding. It's deeply like presence-full. And that's going to help you feel more connection to your body. Then we look at other people. And I mean, if you're feeling disconnected, let's say again, you're in a leadership position, you often can't connect at the same level with the people that you manage, that you lead, that are further down in the organization or that are on your team in your business. So maybe you find a peer network, maybe you create like hobbies or interests like a triathlon or a Iron Man, Iron Woman kind of group of people to train. Maybe you go to hikes, maybe you join a gym, whatever that looks like, and you find ways to connect with other like-minded people doing things that you enjoy. The other is, I mean, this is one of the reasons I believe in coaching. I have coaches, I have mentors, I have therapists that I work with to deepen my sense of connection about the things that matter to me and that feel a little bit too vulnerable or shameful to share in different forums or with different people. So what does that look like for you? Maybe it's finding a coach or a mentor or a therapist or somebody that's at the same level or kind of paying attention to similar things that you could partner with, collaborate with. I'm in a men's group, for example. And one of the things that we did viscerally having an impact and profoundly having an impact on me recently was I got to feel, even if it was virtual, my fear. And I was shaking while on the Zoom call, and the people in the group, there's 4 others, were just present with me. They didn't judge the fear, they didn't hide away, they didn't try to fix it, they just sat with me while I experienced it. And it was beautiful, and it was profound. And I delivered my TEDx the next day, and it was a talk, a presentation that I'm deeply proud of because of how I stood in who I was deeply embodied, and was able to connect hopefully with other people that watched that back. And so that sense of connection, it's not always available in like your day-to-day interactions with other people, but maybe that's where you start as well, is just talking a little bit longer to the person that gives you coffee or in a supermarket or a stranger that passes you by that has a nice dog. Comment on those things. I noticed somebody yesterday wearing really cool runners, and I said to them, I love your runners. We were queuing for a coffee shop. The connection is everywhere. When we live in the mind, when we're in an anxious state, we isolate and retreat away from that sense of connection. Or when we experience negative experiences or negative emotions, we typically retreat thinking we're bad or there's a problem with us for experiencing it. So we retreat, and it causes shame, and it is not helpful. And so I'm trying to give you an understanding of where loneliness and those kind of things come from. I'm trying to also give you an understanding of how that might show up in your body or your nervous system at the moment. And then just try and give you some invitations to think about building connection to yourself and to other people as well. The other thing is just move into nature. I felt quite agitated a little bit this week, and I realized I hadn't been spending enough time in nature. I hadn't spent enough time in connection with other people. And spending time in nature today with somebody, Darren, who I care deeply about, I've been able to do some of this, which is hopefully connecting to you, fills me up. I'm getting to hear dogs, I'm getting to pet a dog that came over earlier on, and there's a deep connection to the moment in front of me right now. And so hopefully that's helpful, hopefully interesting. Loneliness and disconnection is not bad. It's an invitation towards connection. And by watching this video and learning a little bit more about it and tuning a little bit more into your own experience right now in the moment, you're already moving towards it. So hopefully helpful. Much love. I'll see you in the next series.